Have you seen this man? Young guy from New Zealand with a funny accent. Piercing blue eyes telling you can make millions as a consultant. A nice suit. I like his hair. He smells, Alright, so today we're going to talk about Sam Hovens and why you think he's a scam. How dare you? Hashtag free Sam Hovens. Leave him alone. Leave Sam Hovens alone. Alright, so full disclosure before we start this video, I have taken Sam Hovens' course, so I have my own opinion on his content. But the point today is that I'm not going to try to convince you whether or not Sam Hovens is a scam. What I'm going to do today with you is to try to analyze from a marketing perspective why people think that Sam Hovens is a scam. And if you stay until the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can avoid to appear like a scam. Alright, so the first phase of this is the fact that Sam Hovens spends a lot of money on advertising. And not only on social media, but also on AdWords, and particularly on retargeting ads. That means that if you've seen his content or you're within his target audience, he's going to follow you everywhere. And not just on social media, but because of AdWords, also on every website you're going to visit. And the thing to understand with these cold traffic ads is that it's targeting people that don't know about him yet. So therefore you really have to catch people's attention, and in the case of Sam Hovens, he's making some pretty wild claims in these cold traffic ads. And because of the sheer volume of impressions and how many times you're gonna see him, then most likely a lot of people are gonna be enticed to at least check him out. And this takes us to phase 2. Alright, so phase 2, and this is the only part of the video where I'm gonna have a pretty subjective take on Sam Hovens. Sorry, it's okay. So the ads you used to run used to send you to what's called an Evergreen Webinar. Now I've talked about this in another video so you can see what an Evergreen Webinar is, but let me show you this one in particular. So the way this one would work is that it really would pretend that you were gonna go live literally 5 minutes after you landed on the page.
So we're going to go live any minute now. There should be a countdown timer next to this video ticking down.
And again, this is why I'm taking a bit of a subjective stance on that point, because pretending to be live is, for me, from an ethical perspective, a bit of a problem. So to go even further, there's someone called Sarah in the chat who's supposed to answer your messages to make it look like he's actually live, but he doesn't have time to answer messages, so you have his assistant doing it. By the way, I tried to message Sarah and she never answered.
New York, people in Canada, people in London.
If I wanted to get ignored, I would just go on Tinder, Sarah. Who do you think you are? Do you know who I think I am? On top of that, at the time, his website was really bare. There was just not a lot of content and information on the guy. His YouTube channel wasn't really active, apart from some testimonial videos, which is not really helping his case. He didn't have a big social media presence. So at the end of phase 2, and after checking him out a little bit, you would probably leave with a bad sentiment. So the third stage is the negative mere exposure. Now the classical understanding of mere exposure is the fact that the more exposed and the more you see someone or something, the more likely you are to trust and like them. Now this goes back to our ancestors when they used to have to recognize and trust people in their tribe if they didn't want to die. So based on this definition, you would assume that the more you see Sam Hovens with his retargeting, the more you would like him. But some research shows that actually it depends on your a priori. So if you have this negative sentiment and a priori towards someone, this repeated exposure is just going to strengthen that negative reaction. So not liking someone online happens every day, and you probably forget about Sam Hovens after phase 2. But because we've seen that he has a massive retargeting budget, now you dislike him and he follows you everywhere. This causes hatred and frustration to grow exponentially with this negative mere exposure. Now bear in mind that at this stage of the process, you probably still don't really know anything about the guy, but you already hate him. And this takes us to stage 4, which is the confirmation bias. So now you hate him and you see him everywhere. It's your worst nightmare. But you may start Googling him. And here is the thing. The internet is not going to give you what you need, or the truth even. It's going to give you what you want and what you're asking for. So for example, if you Google, is coffee bad for you, you're more likely to see articles that say how bad coffee is for you. Because clearly you have this negative assumption that coffee is bad for you, then you're probably going to look and click on the articles which says that coffee is bad for you. And this is called the confirmation bias. Now to go back to Sam Hovens, if you're Googling, is Sam Hovens a scam, or if anyone is a scam, then you're really likely to see articles talking about how much of a scam he is. And you're likely to see these articles that call him scam oven. And on top of that, add the fact that people that are angry with him and with his product are way more likely to write a negative review than happy customers are to write a good review. And that goes for everyone, and that's just the way the internet is. So now we have these 4 phases and this cycle that keeps repeating. Now again, you can have your own opinion about scam ovens, good or bad. But just be aware of this long-term negative effect that this strategy with direct response marketing and a lot of budget on cold traffic ads can have. And that's why you see so many people promoting the strategy of free content first, so that people can first like you and trust you before seeing your ads. And I think some events understood that. So now he has a lot of free content on YouTube. He's still running webinars, but the videos of the webinar are a lot less shady. They're not pretending to be live. It's not as serious as well. He's just wearing a t-shirt and a backward cap versus the suit in the office as it used to be. And he offers a free trial to his program so that people can actually try it and see that his content is actually good. And some people might say that this new branding is just another tactic to trick you, but to those people I would just say, actually go look at his content, make up your own mind, and think for yourself. If you want to learn the best ways to promote your product online, I made a video about the 2 best models right here, so go check this out, make sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you very soon.